Greetings, my people. I am back and back for good. Here is the news in details. The headlines of Nigerian news. For those of us who are interested to know what is happening in Nigeria, we have to be mixing the news, not only Biafran news, we also need to know what is happening out there so that you will know how to channel your movement, because we Biafrans, we accommodate and also we are travelers. We can find ourselves any part of the country and still feel comfortable. So that is why it is very, very important and necessary that when you are reading the Biafran news, you also need to listen to also the Nigerian news, so to say, so that you will know how to mind your movement, where you are going, and what you are doing at every point in time. So let's go to the news headlines for today, 18th day of October in the year 2022. First on my list here is Nigeria's inflation rises to 20.77%. Very, very high. How are we going to survive with this kind of inflation rate? Wow. I hope something bad will not happen to Nigeria as a nation. El-Rufai turning rotten situation into a bad one is an achievement, Tinubu declares. I bet you should not buy me. Let me laugh out. Let me laugh out loud according to people who say something. Okay, turning a rotten situation into a bad one. Which kind of English is this, Bikono? Buhari wanted to set Nnamdi Kanu free as he first speaks after court order on IPOB leader. This is one of the news we are going to expatiate or elaborate when I am done with the headlines of this news. Another one here on my list, 2023, what P2B said during visit to Sheikh Gumi in Kaduna. We have another one here on my list, and I quote, Atiku sent message to Buhari over attacks on his supporters, just like yesterday. Labour Party supporters, offices, and the rest of them have been damaging and have been attacking from left, right, and center, and none, not even the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, have ever come out to write letter to Buhari. So now you just feel threatened. Well, let's move ahead. We have another one here. El-Rufai recalls Odiel in Anambra, speaks on arresting P2B in Kaduna. If you have the power, why not do it instead of coming to social media to brag? 2023, don't blame me if I ask for payback. Tinubu tells Atiku to stop conducting rallies and return 2007 favor. Hey, wahala dey. Let's go. Number 8 here. Obi says Northern region to get premium place in his agenda. You can find that in nigerianews.com and also in the Premium Times as the news stipulates. We have another one here on my list. Articles comment. PDP owes Nigerians an apology, Wike said. Okay, that is Wike saying. Another one here on my list. 2023, dealing with insecurity is one of my biggest strengths, said by Alhaji Kwankwa. So let's go straight into the most of the news of the day. And let's not forget what did they call him? The speaker of Atiku camp. He said, Deborah Samuel tweet, express your feelings at the polls. Atiku camp dares Nigeria. That is Dale Bala speaking. He's trying to emphasize on the matter of what happened during the Deborah Samuel incident in Sokoto, why his presidential candidate tweeted, and because of the pressure from Arewa youths and those who have overwhelmed him that he will not get their vote. The presidential aspirant, who called himself a unifier, went on and deleted the tweet. Now, the stupid Daniel Balana is declaring that Nigerians should be left to decide the fate at the poll. That means you have nothing to say. You cannot even defend your candidate. You have to say something. Not when they ask other questions, you'll be running your mouth. Look at where you need to defend him, not telling the Nigerian. That means you are not qualified for that job. Daniel Bala. So you better resign from that seat. You are not qualified to be a spokesperson to your candidate because you cannot defend him. We have another one here on my list. 2023 PDP can't win presidential election without me. 4 other governors, Wike insists. Let's see what happens. Wike and his group are demanding the resignation of PDP's national chairman, Iyorchia Ayu. In his statements, the Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has boasted that the People's Democratic Party PDP would not win the 2023 general election without his involvement and those of 4 other governors from Southern region. Mr. Wike stated this during a live media chat in Port Harcourt, Rivers State on Friday. The PDP has been enmeshed in leadership crisis since the party's primary, where Nigeria's former Vice President Atiku Abubakar defeated Mr. Wike and other aspirants to emerge the party's presidential candidate. The crisis was further exacerbated after Mr. Wike was overlooked for the position of running mate to Atiku. The Delta State Governor Ifeanyi Okowa was picked instead. Mr. Wike, feeling aggrieved, accused the party of betraying him and breaching his constitution. He subsequently demanded the resignation of the PDP national chairman Iyorchia Ayu, a criterion he said must be met before he discusses giving support to Atiku in the years pool. Saying further, the Rivers State Governor's argument is that both Mr. Ayu and the party's presidential candidate Atiku come from northern part of the country, Nigeria. But the party leadership have refused to accede to Mr. Wike's demand, fueling speculations that the Rivers governor could defect to another political party ahead of the elections. Mr. Wike has in his group Governor Samuel Otom of Benue State, Seyi Makinde of Oyo State, Okezie Ikpeazu of Abia State, and Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi of Enugu State. In his speech during that Friday interview and media chat, the governor debunked speculations that he was planning to leave the PDP, claiming his departure from the party alongside other governors would affect the PDP's chances of winning the 2023 general election. Where is then the unifier? You can't even unify as a party of not up to 1,000 people. Now you want to unify a country of over 250 million people. How is that possible, Mr. Atiku Abubakar? This question goes for you. We need an answer. If you cannot unite PDP crisis since their primaries to date, tell me how you are going to unite a whole country. The largest black race, the largest population of the black race in the world is Nigeria. You cannot unite them. It's obvious they have nothing to offer to Nigeria, so it's better depart and go back to your Dubai. Continue with your generator business that have left Nigeria without life for decades. If I leave that party today, PDP cannot win the 2023 election. They can't win any other polling units. If we, the 5 governors today, say we are leaving this party, we are not just ordinary governors. We are very formidable, very strong, he said. There's nobody that wants to win elections that will continue the way they are doing. Mr. Wike said of the PDP national leadership, I know what Atiku is doing now is just to fulfill all righteousness. To him, he have already known that this 2023 is not for him, neither is it anyone close to him. There is nobody that wants to win election that will continue the way the PDP are going. This is not the first time. I have supported so many states financially to win elections, just that most of them are not truthful. I have supported Plateau, Ondo, and Cross River severally. They cannot deny it. Appointment of 28,000 heads. Governor Wike defended his recent appointment of 28,000 new heads. He said it was part of the administration's initiative to alleviate poverty. How does that alleviate poverty, Bikono Wike? What are you doing with 28,000 heads? Paying them from the government treasury. You people are doing whatever you like in this country. Well, it is not your fault. It is not the duty of the government to reduce poverty. It is not the duty of government to empower its people, he said. We met this morning and we are going to increase it to 100,000. They are all Rivers people, Mr. Wike added. And in the other hand, about Omeha's saga, Mr. Wike also spoke on Celestine Omeha, who was last week recognized by the Rivers House of Assembly as a former governor of state. The House had directed Mr. Omeha to refund over 696 million naira monetary entitlements within a week. Asked what will happen if Mr. Omeha fails to pay after 7 days as directed, Mr. Wike said the government will explore a number of options to compel him to make the refunds. Omeha has to pay or he should challenge us in the court. The Attorney General will advise us on what to do because the state government has a number of options to take to get the said funds back from Celestine Omeha. That is the news about Wike and PDP saga. So let's go straight into another news of this evening. It said Buhari wanted to set Kanu free. Ezeife speaks after court order on IPOB leader. So let's look straight into the news of the day. What actually happened and what the Chukwuemeka Ezeife is saying about the Biafran leader IPOB. And SY governor of Anambra State, Chukwuemeka Ezeife, has said that only God will make President Muhammadu Buhari honor the appeal court judgment and release the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB Nnamdi Kanu. The elder statesman, while speaking during an interview with Arise Television this morning show on Monday, wondered why the federal government would disobey the court ruling when the academic staff or union of the universities also had called off its 8-month-long strike just in obedience to a court order. Ezeife stated that it is only God that has the capability of changing Buhari's mind. He explained that he had also gotten good information that Buhari wanted to release Nnamdi Kanu. They let him do so. I heard sentiments. He said, the House of Kings are in the hand of God. We pray to move Buhari to do justice, to respect the court, his own court. The ASU people have gone back to school in obedience to court order, even though they were not happy with it. Now let our government lead by example and comply with court order. What I heard was that Nnamdi Kanu was discharged and acquitted, but the government can put words in the court's mouth that he was only discharged. That is the Malami and Buhari constitution. But even at that, if he was discharged and of the heinous crimes accused of, that's even enough reason to free him by the court's decision. When we went to the president, we got a very good response from him about releasing Nnamdi Kanu. Later, I got personal information that the president wants to release Nnamdi Kanu and Sunday Igboho. So he released Sunday Igboho while Nnamdi Kanu is still languishing in DSS custody. Speaking further, he ordered the discharge, argued the discharge, not acquitted order does not stop the IPOB leader from being set free. He insisted that the discharge order was enough premise to let Kanu go. And later, I heard only of Igboho being set free from charges against him while Nnamdi Kanu is still there. May God make it that the president will look at the state of the nation and release Nnamdi Kanu. God has created a situation in Nigeria where all eyes are not open, where nobody can say my religion, my tribe, etc. He added. That is Ezeife speaking on the case of Nnamdi Kanu and why Buhari wanted to release him. So let's look into another news here on my hand. Nigeria's inflation rises to 20.77%. NBS says it will remain high through 2022 due to flooding. My goodness. The National Bureau of Statistics, that is NBS, has today disclosed in its monthly report that Nigeria's inflation rate hit 20.77 in the month of September 2022, according to the report titled Inflation Rate Rise to 20.77% in September 2022. On a year basis, the rate increased from 20.52% in August to 22.77% in September 2022, as compared to 16.63% in September of 2021. NBS noted that the inflation rate will continue to remain high this year as a result of flood in some states, which had destroyed crops and farmlands. Okute News gathered, and I quote, that the report said the jump in the Consumer Price Index (CPI) was triggered by an increase in food inflation due to higher price paid by Nigerians to purchase bread and cereal, potatoes, yam oil, and the rest of them. In advance, that the food inflation rate in September 2022 was 23.34% compared with the 19.57% recorded in September of 2021 and 23.12% in August of 2022. The September report stated that the percentage change in the average CPI for the 12-month period ended September 2022 over the average of CPI for the previous 12 months period was 17.43%, showing 0.60% increase compared with the 16.83% recorded in September of 2021. According to the NBS, urban inflation on a year-on-year basis remained at 21.25% last month as compared to 17.19% in the same period last year. So that is the news I have for us concerning this inflation. The news is not much but just a brief news to let you people know that inflation has hit the country so hard. That is why you can find out that everything have virtually go higher and higher on daily basis. Just in, I am cultured. 2, to disobey the law. P2B fires Petit Rufai. Let's see what the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, P2B, has claimed Governor Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna State over his alleged failed attempt to incite the audience at the Arewa confab against him. Niger News report that El-Rufai, at an interactive session organized by the Arewa Joint Committee, claimed that he was arrested and detained for 48 hours in Anambra State in 2013 on the orders of Obi, who was then the governor of the state. Fallacy and fallacy and fallacy. The governor stated that he was arrested when he visited Anambra on behalf of All Progressive Congress (APC) to monitor the state governorship by-election. And what is your business from Kaduna today? Are you an INEC officer? Are you an INEC officer? You are not an INEC officer. You are not a registered one. So why should you go to interfere in somebody's states? Wait for when Obi will come to interfere in your own governorship election. Then you have every right to arrest him, detain him for 8 hours or 72 hours as you please. The governor stated, Governor El-Rufai, however, said he now has all the security architecture at his disposal now that the Labour Party candidate is in his state for consultations. El-Rufai noted that he has all the mechanisms to arrest and detain anyone if he wished, but that he is civilized and would not do such. Because you know you are not saying the truth, so stop lying to yourself. This is a small man, El-Rufai. Stop lying to yourself. You know you are not telling the truth. So let's forget about all this blah, 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 blah here and there. Reacting to El-Rufai's claim, P2B's media head, Tai Emeka Obasi, in a statement sent to Niger News on Tuesday, said the former Anambra governor is too cultured to break the law. He stated that the Kaduna State governor failed in his attempt to incite the audience against the Labour Party presidential candidate, and that is exactly what he tried to do. According to P2B's head, the audience admirably showed that they had not only outgrown such ethnic pettiness, but also very interested in what is best for their country. The statement reads, displaying the height of desperation, the governor of Kaduna State went all-time low in in issue of pettiness when he attempted to incite a selected audience at the Arewa Confab yesterday. His Excellency Nasir El-Rufai told the audience after his principal, Senator Bala Ahmed Tinubu, had taken his turn that his Excellency Peter Obi, who was being expected, had arrested and locked me up when he visited Anambra State in 2013 when Obi was governor, and went further to boast that as governor of Kaduna State that he had every security apparatus waiting at his disposal to reciprocate. And that is a lie. You cannot do it because you know you cannot. I know you, El-Rufai. I know what you did in Abuja, where you are minister of Federal Capital Territory. You dealt with all the whole Igbos there in Apo Market. So I know if you have the right to do it, you will do it, but you cannot do it because you know you are not telling the truth. So get out. What El-Rufai didn't tell the enlightened audience was exactly why he would visit Anambra State on the day of her 2013 gubernatorial election without being recognized by INEC as an accredited observer. That is the truth. He should have waited for Obi to sneak into Kaduna on state's gubernatorial election day to start thinking of retaliation. A day that will never come, as the man in the news would have caused chaos if the security agent did not act as directed by Abuja. Of course, the El-Rufai would have been baffled. He must have watched from the screen that the evidently very focused members of the joint Arewa for did not bite his belt. They must have known that no governor was in charge of such arrests as confined by El-Rufai in attached video. The very mature audience admirably showed that they had not only outgrown such ethnic pettiness but also very interested in what is best for their country that is sinking before their very eyes. The cheers that welcomed Obi and the kerenke that rang in the chorus when he finished an audacious speech were heartwarming to any progressive Nigerian. This country is about to truly united as one, and that is our prayer on daily basis, that we may not go our separate ways. In unity we stand. United we stand, and divided we all fall. So my dear people, this is where the broadcast of this afternoon is going to stop. Wait for me in the next episode of my broadcast. Please, I want to use this medium to apologize for my voice because I have been having a little flu. That is why my voice is not that fluent that I used to be. But pardon me, please. I apologize, and I will make it up to each and every one of us on my next broadcast. Until I come your way again, I still remain your one and only Okute Daily Talk from my own side, Okute's Corner. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, like my content, share it to your father, to your family, to your friends, to all your colleagues in the office and your school places or your working places, so that they may be among this moving train, because we are moving in the right direction. P2B for 2023 general election. Thank you.